So what impact do you think the Royal College of Physicians North will have on that?
I think there's always when you're creating a place and seeking to attract investment to it, perception and brand are big things. I think Liverpool had developed a bit of a reputation for not winning inward investment. That was always seen as a big part of Manchester's success story, rightly so. And what was interesting with the Royal College of Physicians, 500-year-old institution founded by Henry VIII in his younger, fitter days, they had to choose for their northern centre of excellence between Manchester, Leeds and Liverpool. And it was fantastic that they chose Liverpool, and a real part of the way that we're shaping the brand that we can compete against other northern powerhouse, other northern cities. We can position ourselves as an attractive location on the European stage.
So tell me more about Paddington Village, because it isn't just the hospital, it isn't just going to be a place of work, people are going to live here, there's got to be lots of things that people want to live around, like shops and good public realm.
Yeah, well, one of Liverpool's big advantages, why it is a city of opportunity now, is we have land to regenerate. Many competitor cities, so the centres of Birmingham, Leeds, Manchester, London, they don't have the space available. And we have some space, and the foresight of the council in creating Paddington as a 30-acre development site was quite simple. They had inner-city schools, inner-city police stations, where population changes had happened, things like policing have changed, and they could relocate those to new places and create that 30-acre development site. So it's wholly owned by the city. It's Paddington Central, South and North, 3 phases to it. The first phase is Paddington Central, and that's where the Royal College of Physicians' new home will be, 170,000 square feet, new hotel and conference centre. Kaplan, who are owned by the Graham family, one of the world's American-owned, one of the world's biggest providers of training and education. They're building Europe's largest international college there in partnership with the University of Liverpool. And the most recent announcement is Proton Partners International, who are building one of the first 4 proton beam cancer treatment centres in the UK. That's £35 million of private funding. There's a lot more to announce soon. And a lot that's going on around there in terms of getting the new train station built, multi-storey car parking, fantastic public realm, event space, some really cool retail. So that's all ongoing. It's a real project. The planning permissions are in for the first buildings, and I was excited to see an email before saying the hoardings are going up next week, which is really cool.
So at the end of it, when you've made your further announcements and it's sort of in a shape that you want it to be, Colin, what will be the balance of state and private investment? Could you have done it without the private investment? Is that going to be more in the end?
I think it's a really important time for a lot of cities now, in that as government funding for cities, particularly in the former industrial big urban cities outside London, they're all struggling in terms of government funding, and so they need to generate forms of revenue to put into those essential services that people expect. And so the city ownership and the university ownership helps, and the city can use their land ownership in a clever way to generate revenue for the future for council services. But they can't do it on their own, and they shouldn't do it on their own, because where the key success is when the public and higher education and health sectors work with the private sector. And one thing the private sector are very good at is driving the best deal in terms of costs and land values, but they're also very good at knowing what occupiers need. What do the businesses that are going to occupy that space need? What are their expectations? And so it's about building the right space for the businesses of the future.